Technology-Infused Assessment Module by Amber Pence at UT Arlington, assigned by Professor Diaz in spring of 2019. My perceptions of English language learners before this course. Before this course, I believed that if English language learners could carry out a normal everyday conversation in English, they knew enough English to move into a general education classroom. I thought all ELs were recent immigrants from another country and were therefore not American citizens. I assumed that ELs would be harder to teach than native English-speaking students, and I supposed that ESL classes were only for students who were bilingual and needed a way to transition to regular English classes. My perceptions of English language learners after this course. After this course, I learned that even if English language learners are able to have a normal everyday conversation in English, they still need support in all of the other components of proficiency, such as reading and writing. I realized that not all ELs are recent arrivals to the U.S. They could have been born here, meaning they are American citizens, or have lived here for most of their life. I learned that teaching an EL is no harder or easier than a native English speaker. ESL and bilingual classes are not only used as a transition for non-English speaking students. They are programs that are offered to help students learn English and move to a traditional classroom, or used as an enrichment program to help students learn two languages and become fully bilingual. 5 possible misconceptions about your ELL students. Misconception number 1. ESL educators need to be able to speak Spanish or another minority language in order to effectively teach an EL. This is false. Although being able to speak a minority language is helpful, an ESL educator does not need to be fluent or knowledgeable of another language in order to effectively teach an EL student. An ESL teacher can effectively teach an EL student with the use of many strategies such as scaffolding, visual and linguistic supports, manipulatives and hands-on activities, and building on a student's background knowledge of what they already know when learning a new concept. Misconception number 2. ELs must develop significant language proficiency prior to participating in disciplinary learning. This is false. ELs can and should participate in the same disciplinary learning as their peers. Students need to participate in meaningful and authentic activities about academic ideas and concepts in order to help develop academic language. You can help students use academic language to promote English language development and support academic learning over time by using a variety of formal and informal academic situations. Misconception number 3. Students need simplified content and language as they learn. This is false. Using simplified language decreases meaning rather than increasing it. Using simple sentences reduces the content and meaning of a text. Instead, texts for EL students should be amplified, not simplified. Misconception number 4. Students should not use their first language in the classroom. This is false. The more experience an EL has in their first language, the more easily they will acquire the second language. Children who already read and write in their primary language should continue to do so because this will facilitate their learning in reading and writing in English. Misconception number 5. Not all educators working with ELs need to be specifically trained. If teachers speak English, they can teach English. This is false. Teachers need specialized training to become ESL certified in order to teach English and academic content. Class teachers, administrators, curriculum specialists, and EL teachers must be open to sustained and high-quality learning opportunities about effective strategies for supporting the academic content and language knowledge of ELs. What I have learned about critical concepts and theories. Cooperative learning, also known as collaborative learning. Cooperative learning is an educational strategy which aims to organize classroom activities into academic and social learning experiences. This academic approach focuses on small groups of students working together on a common task and facilitates team and communication building, content mastery, and other interactive skills while helping them develop their social language skills. This approach differs from group learning in that students of mixed levels of knowledge and talents are arranged into groups, and each member of the group has a specific responsibility and is held individually accountable for the group's overall success. Social language, or BICS, and academic language, or CALP, is best illustrated in Cummins' iceberg theory. BICS, basic interpersonal communicative skills, is cognitively undemanding and informal. It is conversational, social, everyday language. Fluency takes about 1 to 3 years, and just because ELs have basic conversational skills doesn't mean they have the ability to comprehend academic language. CALP, cognitive academic language proficiency, is cognitively demanding and formal. It is school, textbook, and academic language. It takes a minimum of 5 years to develop even an intermediate fluency, and it requires higher order thinking skills, and EL students may need extra support and time to become proficient. Active learning. Active learning is a form of learning in which teaching strives to involve students in the learning process more directly than in other methods where they are just passively listening. It also provides students with lessons that allow students to become more engaged by integrating the lessons and allowing collaborative learning. Examples of active learning techniques include role-playing, case studies, group projects, think, pair, share, peer teaching, debates, just-in-time teaching, and short demonstrations followed by class discussion. Krashen's comprehensible input. Krashen's comprehensible input is the concept that the instruction needs to be communicated at a level that is understandable to the student. Conceptualized by the formula I+1, in which I represents the input and +1 refers to just one level above the student's learning proficiency so they can gain knowledge to their best ability. The student can only acquire or learn what he or she can understand by connecting it to prior knowledge and known concepts. The PRISM model. The PRISM model is a model that shows interrelated components that influence L1 and L2. It has 4 components: sociocultural, linguistic, academic, and cognitive. Sociocultural includes all of the social and cultural influences that occur in the student's life and stems from their family, community, and school. Linguistic comprises all of the language acquisition learning an EL has that includes L1 and L2. Academic consists of all of the work that the EL does in school across all subjects in all grade levels. And cognitive has to do with the subconscious process of development and begins at birth. Takeaways from this course: do's and don'ts. Don't have teacher-centered instruction. Don't assume students understand the content by relying on textbooks or lectures to teach a lesson. Always check for understanding. Do differentiate lessons and allow students to work in small groups. Working in small groups and incorporating cooperative learning in your classroom helps your EL students build their conversational language in L2. In turn, this will help students with their language development skills across all content areas. Don't speak quickly or in slang. If your student does not answer you, repeat and systematically simplify your question. Have patience and give them time to respond. However, if the EL student does not respond, perhaps they are still in their silent period and shouldn't be forced to speak English right away. Remember that patience is a virtue. Do speak clearly and slowly for students to process what is being said or asked. Offer clear direction and ask simple questions, then gradually ask more complex questions to assess students' comprehension. After asking a question, wait a few seconds before calling on someone to respond. This wait time provides all students with an opportunity to think and process the information, and ELs a chance to formulate a response. Don't be biased or stereotype EL students or parents because of a language barrier or cultural background. Create a multicultural environment. Some EL students and parents may have had totally different experiences than others. Teaching diversity in a way that incorporates different histories, values, and perspectives from a variety of cultural backgrounds will help parents and students feel appreciated and welcomed. Do get parents involved and create a comfortable and nurturing environment for students and parents. EL parents want to know how their children are doing and want to help their child be successful. Getting EL parents involved will help them and their children feel more comfortable about asking questions. The more informed parents are, the more likely that the student will get support at home. Don't force students to speak English or ban ELs from using their native language in the classroom. By allowing students to speak in their native language, it actually helps them to learn the English language by allowing them to choose when they want to speak it, rather than forcing them to speak when they don't want to. Do encourage continued use and development of L1. Research has found that learning to read in the primary home language can help students promote reading achievement in the second language by accessing their background knowledge, phonological awareness, and comprehension skills. Do give instructions orally and written, and model what you expect for them to produce. Communicate concepts to your students by using gestures, props, and visual effects like graphic organizers and anchor charts. Offer your students lots of positive feedback and point out their success. And most importantly, don't give up on a student. Be patient and flexible. All students have potential to learn, and it may take a lot of time and patience, but it is worth it. This has been my Technology-Infused Assessment module. Thank you.